Hello everyone. Before discussing black body radiation, there are some facts related to this phenomena, black body radiation. Uh, Before quantum theory means before black body radiation, it is thought that only wave nature of electromagnetic radiation are possible. But and the wave natures can explain the diffraction and interference type of phenomena of radiation. So this is the wave nature of electromagnetic radiation explain the phenomena like diffraction and interference. What is diffraction? It is bending of wave around an object, and this phenomena is well defined by the theory wave nature of electromagnetic radiation. And interference also. What is interference? It is combination of different type of waves. You will study in optics and physics also. So these phenomena can be explained by wave nature of electromagnetic radiation very well, that there is no need of this type of thought. But at the end of 18th century, or we can say that in 1900, there are some facts that when a substance or when an object is heated, it absorbs some light, some radiations and emit them. Some are completely absorbed and some are emitted. Many times an object can absorb more radiation and emits very few. So this type of phenomena, the thought of this type of phenomena leads to the theory of Max Planck, that is black body radiation. Wave nature could not explain black body radiation, photoelectric effect and line spectra of atom. Means just I say that some radiation are absorbed and some are emitted when an object is heated. When an object is heated, if we heat this object, if it is a metal rod, and if we heat this object, it absorbs some heat and then radiate. You can see the red hot of iron nail or iron substance, red hot color of iron substance. That color of red is due to the emission of that radiation which it absorbed when it is heated. So there are many types of things which objects which absorbs light, absorbs energy and emit in the form of, in three forms. We can say that if an object is heated, just heated this object, it radiates energy in three forms. Some energy is absorbed, completely absorbed. Some energy is emitted and some may be reflected. The radiation which is reflected, we can perceive that color like red hot of iron rod, etc. And some radiation are emitted and some are absorbed. So this emitted, the radiation which is emitted by such type of object, if an object is heated, and the radiation emitted is always emitted in a packet of energy. Always the energy is quantized here. According to the Max Planck, this energy is quantized. Absorbed energy or emitted energies. Energy is always quantized. So according to the Max Planck, we can say that an ideal body, some body, here we take example of iron rod or copper or etc., this type of or sodium vapor or hydrogen gas. But if the body is ideal, it completely absorbs radiation and emit them, completely absorbs radiation and completely emit that radiation. This type of substance is called black body, but it is an ideal situation. So a black body which emits and absorbs radiation of all frequencies is called black body. If an ideal body absorbs and emits, it completely absorbs and it completely emit the radiation, then that type of body is called black body. And the radiation emitted by that body is called black body radiation. Here is the wavelength intensity graph here, and there is temperature. T1 and T2 are temperature. T1 is the lower temperature than T2. T2 is more than T1. When we plot a graph of the intensity versus wavelength, we see that with the wavelength, a maximum intensity is seen here, and then there is a decrease in intensity. If the temperature increases, the intensity increases and then decreases also as well. So here is a point that at a given temperature, T1 and T2 are both two temperatures. So at a given temperature, intensity of radiation emitted increases by decreasing wavelength, and reaches at the maximum and then decreases. So intensity is inversely proportional to the wavelength, and temperature, the relation between temperature and wavelength, the wavelength and temperature, the lambda and T is always a constant. So energy radiated or emitted is always proportional to the frequency. Max Planck give this equation. E is directly proportional to the frequency. If E is directly proportional to the frequency, he gave a proportionality constant which is called Planck's constant H, and the value of H is 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. With this equation E equal to H nu, we can calculate the energy of the emitted or absorbed radiation. Here is a question like this. If the wavelength of the red light is 700 nanometer, it is given as 700 nanometer, means wavelength lambda is 700 into 10 to the power of minus 9 meter. Calculate its energy. So you can easily calculate it, E equal to hc by lambda. Like this, put the value of H 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second, and C 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. 700 nanometers. 700 wavelength is 700 and nanometer is 10 to the power of minus 9 meter. So after calculating, the value is 2.8839 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So this is the value of energy in joule. But if you want to calculate the energy in electron volt, 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. As we know, 1 electron volt, energy of 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 power of minus 19. By dividing this, we can calculate electron volt. But if the question says calculate the energy in electron volt, then you can directly calculate the energy in electron volt by just dividing the wavelength to 1242. Sometimes it is 1240 also. And the wavelength must be in nanometer, and if the wavelength is in angstrom, then you can write 12420 for the Hc. This is for electron volt. If the energy is needed to calculate in electron volt, then you can use this equation and calculate easily. In this way you can calculate energy, and according to the Max Planck, this energy E equal to h nu. This energy is always quantized, always in a packet. Quantized means a fixed amount. So if their electromagnetic radiation have particle nature, then each particle contains a quantum, a packet of energy. Next is photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect, the experiment done by the Hertz. This experiment is done by the Hertz in 1887, and the explanation of this experiment, complete explanation of this experiment, is given by the Albert Einstein in 1905. And for this explanation of photoelectric effect, he is awarded by the Nobel Prize. In this experiment, there is a battery, metal surface and a light beam. This is light beam of light. When strike to the metal surface, electron is ejected from this, and if electron is ejected, it moves towards the positive terminal, and there is a deviation in the ammeter. This experiment, the metal used in this experiment are potassium, rubidium, cesium, etc. So there are some observation of this photoelectric effect. Basically, this photoelectric effect depends on the frequency and intensity of light. So there is a observation. The first observation, how they are related to each other. The first observation, when a metal the amount of light, a beam of light is strike to the metal, electron is ejected out, but the beam of light needs a sufficient frequency. This beam of light has sufficient frequency to eject the electron from the metal surface. This depends on different metals, how their frequency, on which frequency the electrons can be ejected from that metal. It completely depends on that metal. And the kinetic energy is of this electron depends on the frequency of the light beam. So the first observation, these observations are given by the Hertz. The electrons are ejected from the metal surface as soon as light strikes on the surface. But the electrons are ejected from the metal surface as soon as light strikes the surface. But the light of sufficient frequency is needed to eject out the electron. So the second observation is the number of electrons ejected is directly proportional to the intensity. If it is what are the number of electrons? Here the number of electrons is important. How many number of electrons are ejected from the metal? It depends on the intensity of that light. If red light is irradiated to the metal surface, it may be possible that no electron is ejected out. If yellow light strike to the metal surface, it may for potassium, the electron ejected out from the metal surface. It completely depends on the frequency of the light, which metal have which metal eject electrons from which frequency. It completely depends on the frequency, but the number of electrons, here only one electron is ejected out. The number of electrons which is ejected from this metal surface depends on the frequency of that light. That depends on the intensity of that light. The light, if electrons are ejected out by the yellow light, then the intensity of yellow light must be or we can say that intensity of yellow light is required. If the intensity of yellow light is low, then some electrons are ejected out, and if it is more, then more electrons are ejected out. And the kinetic energy also is depend on the frequency. The kinetic energy is completely the kinetic energy of this electron which is ejected from that metal depends on the frequency. Here, for each metal there is a threshold frequency. What is threshold frequency? We can say it critical frequency also. This threshold frequency or critical frequency is the minimum frequency needed to eject the metal from the surface when the light is irradiated on it. So, simple definition of photoelectric effect is when light of suitable frequency, which is called threshold frequency or critical frequency, when light of suitable frequency strike on the metal surface, the electron eject out from the metal surface. This phenomena is called photoelectric effect. Means light, the frequency of the light must be must be sufficient to eject out an electron from the metal surface, and it also depends on different metals have different threshold frequencies. What is threshold frequency? The minimum frequency which is required to eject electron from the metal surface is called threshold frequency. It is denoted by nu naught. This threshold frequency is denoted by nu naught. Now, the explanation of photoelectric effect, as I told you, that this explanation of the photoelectric effect is given by Albert Einstein in 1905. So he was awarded Nobel Prize. According to the Albert Einstein, light is made up of photon. Photon means small packets of energy, small packets of energy, which usually we call quanta. Now it becomes photon for light. For light, the small packets are called photons, and in general it is called quantum. So when photon, this photon strikes on the metal surface and eject an electron from it. There are something, this is metal surface, if this is metal surface, the electron ejected from it. So the total energy of this photon is, if we consider total energy of this is h nu as considered by the Albert Einstein by taking the example of Planck's theory. E equal to h nu. If it is the total energy, the energy which is transferred to this electron to eject out from it is h nu naught. This nu naught, what is this nu naught? This is nu naught is threshold frequency, the minimum frequency needed. With this minimum frequency, these electrons eject out from the metal surface. So this energy which is now h nu naught is the energy which is required to eject out the electrons from the metal surface. So this energy, as soon as this energy strike to the metal surface, it moves to the it moves on. So this h nu is called work function. This is called work function. Work function means the energy by which this work is done. The energy by which this work is. Which work is done? Electrons start moving. So the stationary electron now have kinetic energy. So we can say that h nu, what is h nu? H nu is the total energy of that photon which is a strike on the metal surface, from which h nu naught is used for ejecting, for moving, for making the electrons move. That is called kinetic energy. So if we calculate, h nu is equal to h nu naught plus kinetic energy. So h nu is equal to h nu naught plus kinetic energy, or kinetic energy is equal to, we know that h nu minus h nu naught. So we can write h nu minus nu naught, or kinetic energy is equal to hc by lambda minus hc by lambda naught, or hc 1 by lambda minus 1 by lambda naught. So this kinetic energy, the expression of this kinetic energy may be given as this equation also. This equation also. So it can be concluded that the electromagnetic wave has dual nature. Electromagnetic wave has magnetic wave has dual nature. It acts like a E equal to h nu, and according to the Einstein theory, E equal to mc square, where mass m is mass of the photon. Mass of the photon. So we can say that by the equation hc, h nu is equal to mc square. So m is equal to h nu by c square, or you can use this by also we can write that m is equal to h c lambda. Now I'm now some questions. Okay. This photoelectric effect, sometimes we think why Albert Einstein is awarded Nobel Prize for his theory, for his explanation for photoelectric effect, not for relativity or Albert Einstein other work. This is because by this photoelectric effect phenomena we can use light energy to convert it into electrical energy. So, start from the question. First question is, okay, I'll give you question in the written form in group. So if you have any confusion in understanding of black body radiation or photoelectric effect, you can call me also, or you can ask me question on the in group. Okay, thank you.